Hi my little shardies, welcome and welcome back. This is Christina with Shhh Art Online. I've been working today in Worlds Within Worlds. I wanted to show you how I'm doing the buildings for the background in this image. In a previous video I showed you how I was doing the water and what colors I was using for that. So I'm trying to keep the buildings in the background all pretty similar in color. That way I can make the image in the forefront really pop. So I was going for medieval stone structures in the background. That's kind of the angle that I was going with that. So let me go ahead and show you on this side how I went ahead and did that over here. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and work on these few right here, and that'll give you an idea on how to do the rest of it. So the colors I have been using are 935 black, PC 1082 chocolate, PC 947 dark umber, PC 941 light umber, PC 914 cream, and PC 1084 ginger root. And I've been bouncing back and forth for the background on the buildings, or the main color on the buildings, the latest color, between 914 and the 1082. So for this one, I think I'm going to do the 1082, and I'm really lightly just putting a base layer down. And I don't know what it is about color pencils, but a lot of the times when you're first laying them down, and even after you're done, you kind of have to lift the book up to see the color real well on the camera. So bear with me. I promise you there's color there. I'll show you here. It just kind of washes it out. Alright, and now I'm going to go in with my darkest color, which is 947 dark umber, and I'm going to just go where he's got a lot of the hash marks, because that usually tells you where Kerby thinks that it should be darkest at. So, and I'm going to build up and shade, and so this is just kind of roughly throwing it down there. Bring that across for like a shadow. Go like that. I'm going to come up and I'm going to do 1082 chocolate. This is going to be a more redder color. Just going to bring that up a little bit. Just kind of throwing those colors in there. And I'm going to come in with my 941 light umber. I'm just going to add a little bit more of that. And this is kind of heavy. These are, this is going to be kind of like a darker brown building. And each building you do, you can do it just a little bit different, so it doesn't all look exactly the same, but you want to keep like a basic color scheme going for all of them, so at the end they kind of all blend a little bit but stick out uniquely on their own. I'm going to come here, wrong color, sorry guys, put a little bit of dark on the ends here, and that one. And there's so many ways that you can smooth this out. You can do it by hand by continuing to add layers. You can add a lighter layer over the darker layers, and that'll help doing it. Or you could take a blending pencil. You can do it like that. It's completely up to you, your preferred method on how to blend out the Prismacolors. I'm going to come in here with my 935 black. Get this shadow in here. I'm going to really darken up some of these windows too. Right, now if you want to, you can come in with your 1084 ginger root, and I'm just going to throw a little bit of that down here too to help blend that a little bit better. I'm going to come in with my 941 again. Just kind of come down off the shadow that's on the top there. Pull that across this top part here too. I'm also going to do the 947 again and bring that up off the black just a little bit more. Again, you can use really any colors that you want. Just make sure that you have at least 3. I like to do a darker light and a mid-tone. But what I'm doing in particular, I think, is I'm just trying to make sure that I vary the colors a little bit. So I'm sticking within the colors that I have. I'm just changing it up so each building's a little bit different. So now I'm going to come down here, and I think I'm going to do this building here. And again, I'm going to start with my 947, and I'm going to start underneath that awning there. And pull that color down a little bit. You can have some buildings that are really light, some that are really dark. Completely up to you how you want to do it, but that's how I'm doing this particular one. Put a little bit of a shadow there. Again, I'm kind of paying attention to the hash marks that Kerby made already, using those as a guide. The more hash marks he puts, the darker I think that he wants those areas to be. So I'm just following those like guides. The closer they are together, the darker I'm doing my buildings. So now I'm going to come in here with the 941 light umber. Just pull that down a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with my 1084 ginger root. And again, sometimes I start with my light and lay a whole layer down. Sometimes I don't. Doesn't really matter how you do it, but I'm switching it up every once in a while to get a slightly different look. I want all the buildings to be the same colors, but not necessarily look exactly the same. I'm going to take my 935, and along the building here, I'm going to go ahead and put a much darker shadow. And then along the, under the eave. I come back in with my 947. Just go right up into that black area so it blends in. This one's going to look a little weathered. Go in with my my 941 light umber. I'm doing this way more heavy-handed than I did on the other side because I don't want this to be a super long video for you guys. And I'm using my blending pencil right here instead of blending it out by hand. Speed up the process just a little bit. And I'm going from the dark and I'm kind of pulling that color down into the light, pulling that pigment down. Alright, now I'm going to do this building right here, and on this one I'm just going over the whole thing really lightly with the 914 cream. Try to make this one a lighter building. So I am going to go in now with the 947 dark umber. Again, pull that just really lightly underneath that awning. And then I'm going to make it sort of dark back here because that had a lot of the hash marks to go with it. And now I'm going to take my 941 and I'm just going to lightly go into those windows a little bit. I'm not going to make them black. And then I think I'm going to throw in just a little bit of 1082 chocolate. And then 947. And I'm going to blend it out just a little bit with my blending pencil. Great, I'm going to come on to this building over here. This one's kind of tucked away. Alright, I'm going to start with the 1084 ginger root. The 947. This one. Put a lot of that 947 down here at the bottom. I'm probably going to put some black in that area too to darken it up even more. I'm going to make sure that I get right alongside of this building and pull in some of that darker color into the side of that building too. I feel like there would be shadows coming off that building, so I'm making it a little darker on that side as well. Take my black, come in here with the windows. I'm going to take my chocolate and I'm going to put a lot of that in here, this reddish brown. Doing it really quickly so it looks very sloppy right now. But I'm going to blend it out with my blending pencil. So hopefully it cleans it up a little bit. Again, I'm not like a super fast colorist. I like to take my time, but I don't think you guys would appreciate like a 10-hour video while I color background buildings. And that's essentially what I'm going to do in all of these buildings across the page. And again, you can vary it up if you don't want super dark buildings. If you want to go with just, you know, say this here you want to do light, then you would start with like the 914. You would lay that down there. Make sure to get these pillars. And then this area in here is going to be light in some spots and really shaded in others. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then you can go with your lightest color, which is the 941 light umber. And you can just kind of pull in a little bit at the sides here to help give that some, to make it look kind of round. Make sure you get your shadows that are coming off the pillar here. And then I'm going to step up to my darker colors. In here, my 947. Like that. And then I'm going to take my 941 and pull it down where the lighter areas would be on the inside of those pillars. And again, go with your 947 now. Just do a little darker edges. A little bit down on the pillars. I'm going really, really light. I'm barely touching the paper. Just want a little bit of the darker, not a lot. I'm going to come back in with my 941. Be a little more heavy-handed bringing that over. Now this area is going to have a little bit of a lip on it, so you're going to have to put a darker shadow over some of that there. Test it out with the 941, but I think I'm going to have to go a little darker than that. Yeah, I don't think that's enough contrast for what I'm doing, but again, there's no right or wrong. The coloring police is not going to come and get you, so do whatever you feel is best. I'm now taking the 947. Come back through that area again with my 914. Go over the lighter areas. When you're done, you'll get something similar to this. So again, however you choose to use that color palette is how you choose to use it, but everything's just like a little bit different. Nothing's exactly the same. I used the same colors, but I didn't necessarily color every building exactly the same. Again, I want to go ahead and keep the image pretty similar in the background because I really want the vibrant colors of the water and then the dragon in the forefront. So I want the back to be as monotone as possible, but still interesting. So that's why I chose to do that. Alright everyone, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you're told each and every time I post a new video. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, color happy, and remember, shh, it's our little secret.